Let's bring back a segment that is never short of hot takes. Danny and Tim all set for I Feel Strongly.
Thanks, Paul. I do feel strongly about Thomas Tuchel, and I'm okay with the hire as such, because I don't necessarily think that England have to have an English manager. I know you tend to agree with this.
I do, and I think one of the things we've seen since he was brought in as England's manager, it's really, there's been a lot of people that say yes, a lot of people that say no, but I think when you look at it, a lot of people saying that as an England manager, they want an English person.
Yep.
They want an English manager. So the two that probably stand out, you have Eddie Howe. At Newcastle, you have Graham Potter, that's obviously been out of a job for a while. The thing is, from my side of things, is like, first of all, I don't think Howe or Potter would probably take the job at the moment, because coaching has changed so much over recent years. I think managers used to be able to stand back. I know about when I was younger, Sir Alex Ferguson, one of the greatest ever managers in the Premier League. He wouldn't get involved until a Friday or a Saturday, and he'd allow his coaches to do the coaching. Eddie Howe and Graham Potter, they're not those type of coaches. They're hands-on. So imagine them sort of being not having anything to do for months on end. So for me, I think it's a really good hire. He's worked in numerous countries. He's won numerous trophies as well. And that's my opinion, obviously, as a fan. You've been there as a player with the US men's national team. You have Klinsmann coming. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, look, for the US job, as a player, I wanted to play for the best coaches. It didn't matter if they were American or if they were foreign. I wanted to have the best chance of winning. But again, you talk about U.S. soccer and where they are compared to the England history. And look, I believe from a standpoint, I'm disappointed that there wasn't a stronger candidate who was English. Because I think when you look at where the FA is and the Premier League is the biggest, best league in the world. And the fact that they weren't able to produce a stronger candidate for the England manager's job means that at the grassroots level, you've come through that system as a player. At the grassroots level, we haven't, or England hasn't produced enough good managers to put themselves in a position to hire one for the national team. So that's one of my big issues. The other thing about Tuchel is, I like Tuchel. I don't love him in terms of the England job is probably one of the top jobs in all of world football. You'd have to agree with that, right? I would like to see, and people are always talking about Pep, I'm happy with that choice. The greatest manager in the world should be managing England. And I don't necessarily think that that's Thomas Tuchel, if you get my drift.
I do. One of the things that stands out, and it's something that can be debated for so long, is that when you look at the amount of English managers, the list isn't huge.
Correct.
Now, one of the things that I would say, if we look at the top managers in recent years, you look at Ancelotti, you look at Pep Guardiola, you can put Tuchel up there, you can put Jurgen Klopp. One of the things that all of those men are different than the English managers, they've all left the countries that they've managed. They have all been to different countries to sort of witness and see how other countries do things, and had great success as well. And I think up until recently, the same could have been said about a lot of English players. The top English players, not many went abroad. Some have done now and are having great success. So I just wonder whether it may actually benefit an English manager to potentially go abroad just to get that experience.
Get that experience, and I think it also starts to give you some more kind of gravitas with probably the FA. You know, the cautionary tale in this is very recently under Gareth Southgate, they've had so much more success than they've had in probably the last couple of decades. And I look back to, you know, in my time when I was over in England, you talk about Sven-Goran Eriksson, right? You talk about Fabio Capello. Weren't hugely successful with probably the golden generation of English football. So I then worry again about a non-English manager managing. The good thing about it is Thomas Tuchel is either going to win a major trophy or lose. And in that case, Paul, we'll have plenty more to talk about.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.